what would you say that is average return of investment per year if somebody would rent his apartment? Who would you say that are the three biggest and most trustable developers here in Dubai? At what stage would you say that is right now the Dubai real estate? What about these projects that are being built now in the middle of the desert? They're promising to be waterfalls, lakes, and green and all this stuff. It looks really very good, you know, in the pictures and the videos. I don't know how it's going to be in the real life after. Dubai is the place of the opportunities, and the real estate is the biggest opportunity in Dubai right here and right now, and also for the next 10 years. And that's why I have today my friend Bill. Thank you for coming to my podcast.
You're welcome, Giannis. Thanks for the invite.
We're going to discuss today about the opportunities in real estate. So you are here, you know pretty well the market. You have been selling a lot of real estates in the last 2 years in Dubai, 2.5 years now.
Yep.
And I would love to learn a lot about the real estate investment. I want to learn myself, and also our audience has a lot of interest to learn the details that are not known mostly, because we see a lot of advertisement online about buy this real estate cheap or this kind of match. Like what is happening with the real estate? It's still worth it. It's going to be for the next years. So at what stage is the real estate in Dubai right now?
Well, look, Dubai is the place to be. As you rightly said at the start, this is the place of opportunity. This is where dreams come true, you know, and Dubai has changed my life. I assume, you know, you've had a good run here as well.
The last 3 years, yeah.
Exactly. So, you know, definitely it's a very nice place to be. If you are an ambitious person and you strive to become better and better, definitely living in this environment helps you to chase your goals and challenge yourself, because every day you're rubbing shoulders with people that are much better than what you are, and no matter how good you are in your life, in your career, or in your financial status, you look, you know, outside your window when you're driving, and someone else is definitely a bigger fish, you know what I mean? So this alone motivates you to always want to push yourself and excel. Now, in terms of real estate, look, it's a thriving market. Definitely has its pros and its cons, but it is something definitely that is attracting a lot of investors from around the world. It's definitely something worth considering, okay? And as I say to all my clients, real estate is a long game. It's not something that you look with a 3-6 month lens, right? It's not cryptocurrency, it's not stocks, it's not bonds. Yeah. It's a whole different category asset, right? So yeah,
I've been traveling to many countries in the last 3 years, more than 30 in total. I never see anywhere in the world developing the same as in Dubai. So like, what's going on with all these developments of the real estate in Dubai?
Well, look, first of all, Dubai has just been continuously growing, right? And it's grown significantly since the 70s, 80s, and today, like, it's a completely different place than what it was.
And it's also a plan to double the population?
Well, yes, there is the 2030 vision, and in general, Dubai is heading into the direction where the population is continuously growing, and it most likely will double. That's why you see all these new projects being developed. Now you have the new airport, Al Maktoum Airport, which is going to be the biggest in the world. You have Palm Jebel Ali, which is going to be the new Palm, right, which is going to be double in size. So there's a lot more things happening, a lot more infrastructure that is getting prepared in order to support that
development.
Basically the demand and the amount of people that are coming here. So I don't think it's going to happen overnight. It's going to obviously take time to reach at that level, but it's definitely going towards the right direction.
And Dubai is becoming kind of safe place for all over the world for, like,
100%.
in war scenarios, even now with the Middle East, between Israel, Palestine, and Iran, or whatever, you know, places. It's kind of like becoming the safe haven for people to run and get the real estate here and established here. It kind of also gives an easier path to residency, not complicated.
Well, look, whenever there is war, especially in the region, it's never good news, right?
Yeah.
It always creates some form of instability, and it's not the best. Yeah. However, Dubai and UAE in general have proven to be able to, be able to work through these problems. Look at COVID, how they handled it, right? Look at the Russia-Ukraine war. Look at now what's happening, Israel, Iran, Lebanon, and all these countries. So, their stance is quite neutral, which is good. Again, I don't want to go into politics, and I understand all of these things that are happening around the world are not good, and they shouldn't be happening. But Dubai remains neutral, and basically it takes advantage of any situation, either good or bad, right? And this is why this place is a safe haven. It's proven itself to be a safe place. Like the fact that you can just walk alone at night, 3 a.m. and not worry about anything, and
even robbing you or something.
Exactly, or even if you leave your wallet somewhere or you lose it in the mall, most likely it's going to be found and returned to you, without anything missing. So what we have here, we are blessed. We are blessed, and looking at it from different perspectives, it's definitely a great place to be. Opportunities, safety, tax reasons. Now,
zero tax on capital gains, in gains from the real estate,
personal income.
Personal income. Here is something crazy. Like most of the people don't realize from out of Dubai, that in Dubai you don't have a tax number. You don't.
That's correct.
Tax report in the end of the
so basically, in Greece, right? Because
we come from Greece.
Obviously, we come from Greece. When I want to do something in Greece, they ask me for my tax number. I say, guys, there's no tax number. I have my ID number I can share with you, but it's like, what do you mean no tax? I'm like, well, we don't really need it because there's zero tax, right? But let me just clarify. A lot of my clients, especially from Europe, when they inquire about a property and they want to know, how do they basically invest and how it's tax free. I just want to clarify. It doesn't necessarily mean if you buy a property here and you're renting or you have income, you're not going to be taxed, because in order to not be taxed in your home countries, and again, this is financial information that you need to check with your accountant or your financial advisor, it means that you have to be a resident of Dubai or of UAE.
For that income. Because basically you pay tax wherever you are a resident.
Correct. So the very broad criteria is that 183 days per year, per calendar year, you have to be within that country. So if you're living in Europe all year round and you just have a property here and you're getting rental income, you still have to declare that back home and pay the relevant taxes, right? So again, just before making a decision to come out here and to, don't just listen to there's no personal income tax, or do your research, do your homework, right?
But also with the real estate, people can get easily residency here.
Yes, of course.
So what is the minimum for just to get the residency?
So there are two main type of visas. One is the investor visa. So if you invest 750,000 dirhams or more, you can get a 3-year investor visa,
which is about $200,000
approximately, let's say, right? And then at the 2 million mark, so 2 million dirhams, which is about $700,000, let's say approximately. Approximately, $700,000. You get the golden visa, the golden residency, which is for 10 years, renewable. And as long as you have a property worth 2 million or more, you are eligible for it. And, it's for your family and close family members as well.
That's good. So you told me before about the Jebel Ali Palm. So do you think that right now are big opportunities there, like were before with the Palm Jumeirah, or because now the market is different, the total market in Dubai, and maybe still will be an opportunity, but not as big as it was with Palm Jumeirah? How do you see?
Look, I think there's always opportunities out there, right? It's just a matter of, before making a decision, doing your own homework, and don't just listen to what you see on Facebook or Instagram or TikTok or whatever the agent tells you, right? The good thing is that in Dubai, everything is public, information is public. So you can yourself go online and check what the latest transactions are or what the trends are in the market. So you're not solely relying on someone to give you that information. Now, Palm Jumeirah, initially the villas were selling for 2, 3, 4 million back in the day. Now, dirham, yes.
Really?
Yes. So now those same villas, 15 years later, they're selling for like 25 million plus. Okay.
Wow. 10x, actually.
100, and even more.
Even more than
Yeah.
10x. Wow.
Because some of them got extended, some got renovated, some whatever, right?
Yeah.
Now, an average villa launching now on Palm Jebel Ali, you're looking at north of 20 million.
Wow.
Okay. So if I was to compare it to today's Palm, right? I would say, definitely doesn't look too attractive, but if Dubai has proven to continuously grow and become better. So, as I said, it depends on what lens you're looking at this. What's your horizon? Are you looking for the next 10 years? Are you looking for the next 2 years? So, what I see, and is a bit disappointing really, is that a lot of agents, they promise and say, right, buy this off plan and I'll flip it for you in 6 months with a 50% premium or 30% premium, and then they disappear and you're stuck with a property that you most likely can't pay off, right?
Yeah.
And then you're just looking to sell it at original price or even less than that. So
yeah, because there's a lot of off-plan. Here is one of the hottest things on the market for real estate. It's so much advertisement online about the off-plans in Dubai.
There is, yes.
Yeah.
But again, just do your research and know what you're buying. And my advice is, if you're buying off plan, make sure you have the funds at least to cover what is required during construction.
So
because
usually,
because usually, and this is what I always advise to my clients, if you don't have those funds, or if you only have 10-20% of the property, don't buy it.
Yeah.
If you can't afford it, don't buy it, because then you're just putting yourself in trouble.
Yeah.
Right?
Or if you don't have really a good cash flow from whatever income
100%.
to pay it off, you may lose it. Yeah.
Like, as a general rule, have at least what you need to pay during construction, which would be from 40 to 60%, 70% sometimes. And then there is a bulk payment on handover. Usually that's 30, 40, 50%. If you don't have that, then you can get a mortgage, or it's much easier to resell that property on handover, because then you have a much bigger pool of buyers. You have investors, you have end users, you have mortgage buyers that come into the game at that point. So, during construction, to flip a property, you're only talking with investors really, or cash buyers. So the pool is much more smaller and limited, right? So don't get sucked into that game. Yeah, buy now, in 6 months the demand is so high, you're going to resell with a premium. It happens, but it's not the rule, it's the exception.
Yeah. I mean, always something happens. Something can be a crazy demand or a problem, or somebody just want to get rid of something, or somebody just asking because he wants something. So it makes sense.
100%.
Yeah. Okay, that's good advice, because I even heard from agents telling me like, the price is gonna be double just after the project will be finished. I'm like, are you sure about that? Yeah, just buy it,
Yeah, because unfortunately the only criteria for them to pitch that property to you, or that development, or whatever that is just the commissions. So
they can get,
a good tip to my buyers and to clients and anybody watching us: have a look. How much commission is that developer or is that project paying that agent? And why are they so eager to push that project onto you? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
sense.
if one developer is paying you 5%, another one's paying you 3% or 2%, then, in most cases, agents just look where they're going to get more money, which is not ideal. But, again, as a buyer, you should be doing your homework and knowing where you're buying, why you're buying, and why someone is pitching you something.
Who would you say that are the three biggest and most trustable developers here in Dubai, except Imar, which is government, I think, owned also, and it's known already? Yeah,
look, there's a lot of developers in the market, bigger ones, smaller ones, boutique ones, right?
In general, it's a trust to invest with them, like to invest.
100%. Look, the main thing is I wouldn't say so much which are the best developers, because each developer has their pros and cons, right? And again, it depends on what's best for you as the buyer, right? So each product caters to each need, right? So the main thing that I would say is the right systems are in place in order to protect buyers right now. Obviously, mistakes had happened in the past with the financial crisis in 2008, 2009, whenever that was. So now, there's escrow accounts. There are certain measures that are being taken by the government and Dubai Land Department in order to protect everyone involved. So I wouldn't say it's dangerous to buy off-plan. It's actually quite safe. The only thing that you should just verify before buying into a project is, does it have an escrow account? is the project registered with Dubai Land Department, and that's pretty much it. And then just check that developer's track record as well. Like, what have they done? What have they delivered? Because if they have a proven track record, they have a proven history, it's always safer to stick with a developer like that. Without saying new developers are not good or not good. I'm not saying that, but again, it comes down to doing your homework.
Yeah, so you feel also more safe and you know what you're doing. You're not just putting some money there.
100%. And as I initially said, Dubai is very transparent. So everything is there, public information, recent transactions, launch prices. So all of this data is available to everyone.
All right. So there is now so many projects close to the new airport. There is the Jabal Ali Palm. There's this other project like Venetia, many different ones. So all of these projects are going to be finished in a few years, right? So like all this work, it's like as I see from all this advertisement, like if I see the place where they're building, it's just pure desert.
Well, look,
I mean, the whole place was a desert.
The whole place was a desert 50 years ago, right?
Yeah.
And look where we are today.
Yeah.
So the main thing is the vision is there. Strong leadership is there, which is two key things that you need for a city, for a place to go forward, If we were talking in the 1980s, would you believe 40 years later, 50 years later, it would be today what Dubai is?
I see some pictures and some videos of the past. Nobody would ever dreamed or think this one.
And I wish I had a crystal sphere ball to tell the future, right? I would be 10 times richer than what I am now, right? So I wish I did, but I don't. And no one can tell you guaranteed what the future will be, right? However, with the data that we have today, with how things are going, and with the proven track record that Dubai has had, things are looking positive. They're going very strong to becoming double in population and growing even more. And all these developments that you see, it's because they are expecting an influx of people in the next 10 years, right? And there's more and more people deciding to move out here, not only as solo and just come here, work for 2-3 years and get back home. It's becoming a city. It's becoming a place where you want to come and live and bring your family and live here long term.
More stable and more safe.
Exactly, 100%.
I saw also some report that 6,900 millionaires moved to Dubai just in 2024, and that blew my mind because it makes sense to for people to come investing, but 6,900 millionaires, it's a big number to move to Dubai.
It doesn't surprise me.
Yeah, not to states, which I mean, also there was for the United States, but the United States is so big also as a country, to many different states, but especially to Dubai, this number 6,900 millionaires in 1 year to move to Dubai. It's a big number.
Well, look, Giannis, that definitely says something, doesn't it? Like, it shows the trust that people have in this place and the potential that they also see. And again, safety is a big thing. This place is very safe. And again, we're very blessed to be able to live in this environment and to be able to grow and do our careers here and grow with this beautiful city. So look, I definitely, regarding all these off-plan projects and everything popping up like mushrooms every day, like obviously I can't even keep track. Like I'm mainly in secondary, but definitely I do off-plan as well, especially if I have clients interested in a project. I wouldn't say there is a risk of them not happening. The only thing to consider is, and just have at the back of your mind, that possibly there could be delays. Like that's the main thing that could go wrong, I would say.
And the delay usually, historically, is like 5-6 months. It's 1-2 years.
Could be a year, could be 2 years. It happens. You know what I mean? And especially the problem is, it's not so much that the projects won't go ahead because the money is not there or the funds are not there. Just a lot of work to be done, and the amount of contractors, possibly the capacity is not there to fulfill all these needs, right? So that's where the main risk is, I would say.
Makes sense. And on the secondary market that you are mostly selling real estates, very successful in the last 2.5 years since I met you, and you are one of the top agents here in the. Obviously, you're doing a great job in this case.
I'm trying my best. I can't complain.
So it means that you're trustable and you know pretty well the market, etc. So in the secondary market, what would you say to someone who is like first time just trying to learn, find out? What would you say that is the opportunity? For example, I was looking in downtown myself to buy a year ago an apartment, and then I looked. I'm like, these buildings are already about 17 years, I think. I'm like, the apartment look okay, I'm fine, but after 5-10 years, I don't know if I'm going to want to keep this or if it's a good investment. And then there are some new buildings, but maybe, what would you say from your perspective?
Look, I'm going to talk to you not as a real estate agent, but as a finance guy, which was my previous life, my previous career.
Okay.
I would just say why. What is your why? That's what you need to define. Before making any investment decision, either it's real estate, either it's crypto, either it's stocks, bonds, whatever it is, you have to define your why. So again, are you buying something because you want to live there and then potentially sell it in 3-5 years? Are you buying something because you want to renovate it and flip it or rent it? Are you buying something because you want to, again, renovate it and put it on short term? Or you need to define what you want to achieve. Because if you haven't at least tried to reach that point, you're just going to be traveling all around Dubai, looking at properties in various different regions, and you're just going to be losing your time. Okay. And you're just going to get more and more and more confused. So what I would say is narrow it down as to what your goal is as an investor or as a buyer, and then try to narrow down areas that you like. And then in that specific area, focus on specific buildings or developers or whatever else that criteria may be.
Okay. And if somebody wants to buy an apartment for safety or different other strategies that somebody may think right now, or want to, to rent it out and to have some cash flow, to just a diversification of this investment.
Portfolio.
So what would you say that is average return of investment per year if somebody would rent his apartment? Let's say that I buy an apartment worth of 500,000 euro, which is about
2 million dirhams.
dirhams. So, and I rent it out. If it is, for example, yearly, which is mostly rented here in Dubai, yearly rental contract. So what is average return of investment on that one?
Look, I would say anything above 6%.
Around 6%
is good here in Dubai, right? Which is significantly better than many European cities, right? The good thing is you don't have a lot of things eating into your profits. Like, for example, the main cost that you have is the service charges, which is basically the money that you pay to the developer on a quarterly basis in order to maintain the building, maintain the facilities. And again, if you're a resident here, you don't have income tax, so that's not something that you need to deduct. So I would say, again, depends on the building, depends on the specific layout, depends on the view. There's a lot of factors that you need to consider when buying a property to rent it out. But I would say anything above 6-7% is amazing.
And you as a real estate agent, do you also provide this service of to rent out for other people their properties, or no, just sell them?
Look, to be honest with you, I initially, when I started in real estate, rentals was all that I did, right? Now I mainly focus in sales. However, if I need to take on a property for specific reasons, I will help to rent that property. Like just last month, I don't do rentals, but in this case, I had a very important client, which I needed to help. I ended up doing a record-breaking deal in Dubai. I rented a penthouse for 4 million dirhams for 1 year. That was on the Palm. For a penthouse. Obviously, there are big villas that rent for hire, but for a property, for an apartment, this is very high.
Yeah.
So yes, look, if it's something high-end luxury or an important client, I will help them find something. Generally, I'm not going to do basic rentals.
But actually, it's something that I also noticed that it's easy in Dubai in general to rent somebody his properties. There's also so many other companies that they can rent you in the short term. They
Yeah,
can
of
put in
course.
Booking.com and Booking.com and all these
100%.
companies.
100%.
So and even myself, because several times I was traveling, so I didn't need an apartment. I have not buy yet. I'm planning to buy soon, probably in the first quarter of 2025. And I was seeing that it was sometimes very difficult even to find apartment to rent in Dubai through Booking and through Airbnb.
Yeah, look, the good thing is there are many options out there, right? And you have short-term options, long-term options. Even in my company, we're a team of 100 people. So definitely there is an option that will suit your needs and what you need to find. But again, there's no standard process in terms of what the price will be, because for the same square footage of a property in the same, so basically you might have a 2-bedroom in the same building with another one that is the same layout, the same size and everything, but there may be a significant difference because of the view. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Makes sense.
So again, it all comes down to doing your homework and knowing what you're buying, what you're renting, and yeah.
At what stage would you say that is right now the Dubai real estate?
Again, it depends on what you're looking at, what you're comparing at, right? And we have to basically first look at locations. So anything that is close to waterfront will always be in high demand and always be very popular.
What about these projects that are being built now in the middle of a desert? They're promising to be waterfalls, lakes, and green and all this stuff. It looks really very good, in the pictures and the videos. I don't know how it's going to be in the real life after. I guess it's going to be good because in general, they build good real estate here.
Well, look, in general, there are some very nice communities today that are there. And people are living very nicely, and they're enjoying the surroundings and everything, which 10 years ago was desert and again, in the middle of nowhere. I would say, again, you would have to be cautious of what you're being pitched and what, it is promoted. Again, it comes down to doing your own due diligence and being a responsible buyer, okay? Yeah. Overall, I believe that these projects will be delivered as promised. Again, possibly there might be delays, but that's the main risk that you're running, really. The key things, again, to consider would be the location and would be to consider the entry point at what price you're buying, because prices have shot up the last 2 years. And I would say we're at the point in the market where prices are quite high for what it was in the past, right? If we compare to big cities like London, New York, Hong Kong, it's still pretty reasonably priced, right? So, again, you just got to basically compare apple to apple, and, even in the same area, in the same community, you can have significant difference in prices with 2 buildings that are literally next to each other. So you cannot say, this whole area has an annual increase of 3% or 5%, because, it's a very different approach into how things are done here in Dubai. Like here, we even in the same building for the same size apartment, you can have significant differences just because the layout changes. Okay? So it comes down to finding the right professional that you want to work with and to be able to be given that insight before making a decision.
I want to thank you very much for your time.
Thank you, Giannis. Thanks for having me.
For people who wants to research more and to learn about the real estate investment, etc., I believe that you are one of the people here who would help him.
My pleasure.
Because I met you 2 years ago.
Yep.
We are from the same country, from Greece, but
That's correct. Yes.
we met here for the first time. So I was looking for real estate myself. That's how we met.
Yep.
All the contact details will be down below in the description for people who wants to reach him out.
Or you can put it up here as well if you want.
It's going to be there. I would say that if somebody wants to make this decision, has to do it kind of like as soon as possible. I don't care about pushing somebody to do investment, but I just that's my mentality. Like if you want to do something, do your search, finish, make your decision what you're gonna do. Don't stay with your doubt about what you're gonna do or not.
Look, the right time is when you're ready.
Yeah.
And making a decision when you can make a decision. Because property is property. As I said before, it's something long term, and that's how you should be seeing it as a real estate investor. So if you have that long-term vision, you're very rarely going to lose.
I agree. Thank you very much. Thank you for your time.
Thanks, Giannis. Thanks for your time. Take care.